Hey y'all, on the climb in a new high seat. European tourism has come back to San Francisco, so a lot of places that I often sit and make these videos are becoming surrounded. And while I have no problem with San Francisco getting its money on, COVID is still out there, and I don't really want to make videos in masks. So that encouraged me to keep moving, and that becomes a metaphor for what I want to talk about today: abundance. I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about wealth, I'm not talking about riches. I'm talking about there's room for all of us to do what we are actually called to do. It is amazing the last 2 weeks that I have spent in conversation with growing healing geniuses in the Black community. I talked a lot last week about woman chat, but also this week I've noticed the connections that I've had with Black men who are growing and healing. It's actually astonishing when you think about it, because of all the rhetoric that we hear, and yet at the same time, this is actually still possible. You wouldn't think so listening to certain people, but it is. But it has to do with your viewpoint. Just like there's plenty of places to sit, although this particular flower here, you can tell it's a very windy day, but this sit is by the hill, so hopefully y'all can hear me, and I'll check it before I put this on mine. But the abundance of being able to declutter foolishness from your life so that you can hear what's really going on. The whole goal of what is being done to Black people is basically to say, there's no hope in you improving your situation. Why bother? If you're a man, the women hate you, so why bother? You're not going to be able to get the women that you want. And if you're a woman, the men hate you. You're not going to be chosen by the man that you want. And that means there's no hope for your children either. Why bother? And what we have to do is heal enough from our personal traumas and personal experiences to realize that's a lie. Just the amount of respect that I've just received from different places and been able to return. Shout out to Level Up Single Mom. I rolled up on her live yesterday, and she was kind enough to tell me, because of the topic that was at hand, that it was going to be spicy and it was going to be detailed and it was going to be graphic. And she has enough respect for my journey as a Christian woman who is a virgin to let me know this may not be the content for you. And I said in her live, I just rolled by to pay my respects, and I appreciate the respect of you doing that, because we're on different journeys, because we have different experiences, but we're able to acknowledge each other's right to talk about our experiences and to protect one another from things and our experiences that may be harmful. Most of you on this channel know that I'm a Christian, but I don't do this to you in a colonizing way. And see, this is also the problem. How is it that we think we have to dominate other people's viewpoints, that only our ideas can stand, and everybody that doesn't agree with us should be canceled? That's colonizer smack. Shout out to subscriber The Steak Sandwich, who said about the video about the Sunday school story, I view this from a secular lens, but what I really heard was that part about reconciliation versus vindication, and I'm processing that. So he and I come from a totally different lens. Obviously, I just told y'all know where I'm coming from. But the fact is, we can respect each other's lenses. So shout out to the Steak Sandwich. And then the other sandwich, let me get this right, SAMMICH, Steak Sandwich. The other thing about this is, I have men coming to my page now talking about, I just have, shout out to London Link. I used to be a colleague as a moderator on the Themis and Thought page with him. But I have so much calmness and relaxation when I come to your page. Now, a very prominent content creator once came on Themis and Thought show, shout out to Themis and Thought, when asked, can you have spaces that are safe for Black men, for Black women, while centering the needs of Black men? I thought about that question for a long time, and I'm not going to put that content creator's name in this, because that's a question from a genuine place. I'm just not going to put that out in. I'm not going to put her name in this, because it was a good question, and I know where it comes from because of what's going on. But I realize if we center truth and we center it in a growing and healing space, I think we can meet the needs of everybody except one group of people. In order to keep a peaceful energy, you have to keep people that are not interested in peace away. Peace has to be, people don't realize, and as the daughter of a veteran, as someone who studied military history to kind of understand my dad's background and the way he was, and the men around him, peace has to be fought for too. Really, it has to be defended more than anything else. Peace has to be defended. So when we talk about freedom and growth and healing, the necessary thing is to keep people that whole intent is to create drama and start mess out. See, the thing is, the advantage of having been a moderator for Themis and Thought is that I pre-block folks. I already know who certain people in this circle are. So it's just that I pre-block some folks because I want all of you to learn what it is to experience abundance. To be able to connect with people on a healed way, to be able to collaborate with people in a healed way, to be in an environment in which beautiful things and genius can flourish. And so to have that, I can't have certain other things in here. But I want you to know there's a point. I want you to have hope. You do the work, you get to the other side, you have these experiences. Now, everything is not peaches and cream. In my real life, well, I mean, other extra areas of my real life, oh, Lord. And even online, everything is not peaches and cream. Just because I ain't involved doesn't mean I don't keep up. But at the same time, it is possible to get to the other side and to not have to be constantly traumatized, re-traumatized, and not heal. You can come to a point where, as I shared with London Link, we can talk about the heavy things, but we can do it in an environment that is healing to us. One more thing, because it's necessary for Black men to hear Black women making statements like this when separations occur. Because like I said, we need to have hope that things can be better. You can always build on what is good. Many of my subscribers are from Themis and Thoth, and that is a fact. And many of you have expressed how much you've missed me, and so has Themis. So let me make a public statement that also illustrates what I am talking about. Even though I am not participating on the Themis and Thoth show at this moment, I want everyone to know, and you Themis also, if you happen to listen to this, that I will always have respect and love for you providing a space for me to meet dozens and dozens and dozens of wonderful people that otherwise I would never have. And there will always be respect and love for you because of that fact. Always. And I'm saying that publicly so that people know. There's no drama to be found over here, because when grown people have to separate, have to do separate things for a while, it does not mean that we do not continue to cherish and build on what is good. It just sometimes means when you are free, that means you are free to go on your own journey, and you are free to allow people to experience theirs as well. And this is why people say if everybody's not free, nobody is. So sometimes we have to do different things, but it does not mean that respect and love is gone. It just means we have to do different things. And then we continue to be able to enjoy what is good among each other. Living in abundance is better than living in scarcity. Living in abundance is better than living in constant conflict. Peace is superior to war, as long as it is peace with justice, honor, and dignity. I'm not the situation where the oppressed have beat the oppressed have been beaten into quietude by the oppressor is not peace. That's oppression. But it is necessary to share from these experiences and give hope. I have covered some very grim topics, and what I don't want people to do is give up on hope. If you do the work spiritually, morally, emotionally, psychologically, there is hope. Shout out also to Mocha Mommy, who did two magnificent videos. One was in May, one was yesterday. Black Women and Social Anxiety, and also May 23rd, 2022. And this is a video about how Black men, because of the way they are socialized, envy Black women's ability to move in the society. It's a kind of privilege and capital they feel they do not possess. And it explains a lot of the foolishness that goes on as Black men express their frustration. They know they can't do anything with their fellow Black men, but they will then take that out on us, and why the whole business about Black women leveling up and not accepting that treatment is a threat to many of these men. Again, shout out to Mocha Mommy, and the titles of the two videos are Black Women with Social Anxiety, Black Women and Social Anxiety, How to Get Back Out There. There were 3 points that she made in particular, which helped to inspire this video. there are five things that you can do. One of them I'm doing because I'm exercising outside and meeting people when I'm not purposely trying to not meet people so I can sit and not be breathed on. But being able to meet people and extend small talk and getting outside to do exercises with your brain in a better space and being willing to accept low risk activities such as coffee dates and things like that. There are 5 points and I'm probably mangling them. I thought about 3 things that come from that, and some of them are, I kind of do a checklist with myself. Am I open enough to get out there and make friendships and collaborations? Yes. Romantic partnership? Nope, not there yet. And I was able from that video to be honest about this. Hold on. Big truck, please make the turn. There you go. Estrella Trucking. They hire some very skilled truck drivers. This is a very steep hill. Okay, that wind is coming up this hill, so this video is about to be over. But to really be able to assess what you're willing to get out and do. But if you do the work, and I'm in the process of doing mine, y'all see it. Y'all see me back out here. And then you work on the things that you need to work on to be able to connect with others, there's hope. And all of that hope is not in every other community. Now, most of these people that I'm talking to people in Atlanta who are like, get this piece of music ready. We can promote this. We can do this down here. I'm like, for real? People that I helped in the past that were struggling, they were like, yeah, we're willing to do this for you now. I'm like, okay, wow. They're spread out. I think Themis is in Washington, D.C. Demantra is in Atlanta. Y'all don't know him, but watch for him. If you ever wondered if James Baldwin has any sons who are still writing with his ability, he does. This young man writes epic poems that are amazing. He's a genius. A lot of people are spread out. I don't know where Level Up Single Mom is at the moment. True Mystique, she's going to be doing a whole new channel about learning 3D printing. True Mystique Creates, and that's a field that Black women are not often represented in, so it's important that y'all get on that. True Mystique is putting up True Mystique Creates. I know she's in New York right now. So the people that I'm talking to and the people that I talk to on a daily basis are at least well spread out over California. And we're doing 9-figure things out here as well. About to have a big 50th anniversary ceremony for some things that a Black pastor put together for the community that it benefits the lives of hundreds of people to this day. Spread out even over generations. But y'all, everything you need is not somewhere else all the time. It sometimes has to do with you getting ready to seek peace and remove drama from your life so your eyes can be opened to what's already around you. My family used to drive past this hill all the time when I was growing up. My dad would whip that corner because we were going to a church that was down in the valley. And I would always wonder about the top of this particular street and what it would be like to walk up there. But I had to snap a muscle and all the rest and be rehabbing that leg before I finally made it up here. When a student is ready, the abundance appears. It was around you all the time. Don't despair. I don't say that everything is going to work out romantically and building families. I don't say that that's going to be easily possible. Mocha Mommy put a very terrifying figure out there. Even though Black men are only 6% of the population, she quoted statistics that suggest that 46% of the nation's homeless population are Black men, which explains the phenomenon of the homosexual, but also the less well-known ConcuSurf, which T. Hassan Johnson talks about, a doctor, T. Hassan Johnson, on the Onyx Report. How men get into the position where they are absolutely dominated by women who have the one thing that these men do not know at this moment how they're going to secure right away. Winter is coming. Maybe Kevin Samuels was talking about his fellow men. Winter is coming. So you got to find your way in many areas of the country to someone's inside their house. But since they have the housing, they set the rules. There's a lot we need to unpack. And then you also have to unpack, to be fair, if you still want a man around that you can boss around, you know better than Thomas Jefferson. You just being Thomasine. If that's all you feel that you could do, you're in a very wounded and unhealed space. But none of this is necessary. This same internet, I'm telling y'all, this same internet, we just have to heal. Excuse me, y'all, sitting under the trees, stuff blowing in your eyes. We just have to heal, and we just have to be committed to growing in every way that is in front of us. I'm not saying it's easy. There's a lot of trauma. I get it. There's a lot of things that have gone wrong that are very real. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. But as I said at the beginning, the game is to make you think there's no hope so that you don't even try to do anything. And if someone can get you to think that there's no hope and you don't try to do anything, there you are in a permanent underclass. In the midst of abundance. Which is why I did this video. I didn't want to talk again about what's causing us to go into permanent underclass. I want to talk about how you get out. Heal, grow, and reach out to people around you who are on the same journey. We will not all be doing the same things at the same time. We were not all on the same spiritual journeys. And again, y'all already know how I feel about that. You keep coming around here, you're going to hear the gospel a bunch of times. Shout out to shameless plug. We're going to continue dealing with the bad women of the book of John and how God handles these bad women. We're going to deal with that next week, Monday, Tuesday. So again, people are not on the same journey. Jesus gives folk room, though. The following week, we're going to deal with how Jesus gives women rest. So we're going to roll into these things. We're going to discuss them. You're going to hear the gospel if you're around here. But that does not mean that we have to despise one another. That doesn't mean that we don't learn how to live cordially and lead a quiet and peaceful life. Shout out to the Sir Walter Jones show. I have been quoting that verse wrong, that you may live a quiet and peaceful life. No. As a Christian, in the spaces that I create, I am seeking to lead a quiet and peaceful life, which is why my channel tends to be a quiet and peaceful place. So that you also may learn what that looks like and that it's worth growing and healing toward. All right, y'all. The thing about this seat, this seat is hard. So it's about time. That limits the amount, how long this video can be. It's time for me to get up before both legs go to sleep and I roll down the hill. Y'all be seeing me from the hospital talking about, can I have a GoFundMe because I need about $100,000. No, we're not trying to do none of that. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.